Visas roda
What's up, everybody? I am here on an impromptu stream with my friends, and we're gonna just talk shit. Alright, so the music's over with. I'm gonna be playing some Space Hulk, I think, or some. I might just jump in the game with Tony. What are you playing right now? You're playing in a dungeon.
Pretty.
See, what is this called again? Throne of Liberty. Tony.
Yeah, Throne of Liberty.
Okay. All right, so let's check it out real quick. I might be able to run it while I'm running my stream. Hold on. This is a significantly lower powered machine. I don't think I might be able to run it, but we'll try it. And it needs to update. Awesome. Never mind. Back to my normal scheduled broadcast.
So known as updating every other game.
Yep.
I mean, just have a conversation on PUBG instead.
We can. It
While
don't
you
matter.
update a game. Yeah.
I mean, I'm over here playing another game on Xbox servers while while that's updating, because I still have it updating in the background. It's so weird not talking on my regular setup. Because I can't hear my own voice, which is like a godsend, but at the same time, it's like weird.
We located the ancient Dark Angel ship in the
Wait,
heart
you
of the
usually
Space
stream
Hulk.
while hearing your own voice?
After finding
Yeah.
out that Squad Gideon
Because
had
that's
been
what
slain,
happens when I
Why?
turn my...
we fought a horde of
'Cause I have
Xenos
to
as we
turn up
conducted
the,
investigatory
gamma on
missions
my
to uncover
microphone
this
itself, and when I do
enigmatic
so,
vessel from
it
our dark
amplifies
and
my
distant
voice
past.
through my own ears, and I can't
The
turn it off
Deathwing
'cause it's
moved to
hardware.
secure entry into the old ship, while we overcame the energy and psychic defenses
Yeah, so
created by the
something that I
Gene
got used
Stealers.
to over time.
Hard fought was the
That's
battle.
why sometimes it seems like I'm like losing track, but really it's because I'm hearing myself double.
We have encountered Gene Stealer hybrids armed with ranged weaponry. They're launching counterattacks against the perimeter, threatening the integrity of the landing zone on the Elethros. Looking at our scan data, the Tech Marines have advised that the hybrids may be able to sever the ship where our squads are currently located, to propel it into the gravity well of the nearby planet. To prevent this, we must disable the propulsion system in this sector. If the enemy succeed, we will be forced to withdraw and return in another costly breaching assault. Precious time and lives will be wasted. The Emperor abhors failure.
The Emperor abhors failure. Give me a new gun. Oh, I don't have any new guns. Let's do this shit. It's actually running really smooth. I'm watching it on my phone to monitor it, and everything's running really smooth.
We have to quickly destroy the Archaeotech engine.
Nothing can be done hastily and prudently, Brother Battlefield.
So answers an apothecary.
Alright, let's fucking do this shit. Open that door. Forget to.
Just let me finish my dungeon first.
Uh-oh. What the fuck? I guess
What?
Throne of Liberty is done installing and is trying to launch at the same time as I'm playing this. Yeah, I have a perfect topic for you then. Fucking. So you're all about, the game that you're thinking about making. That's an MMO style game. How would you get
Right.
past? How would you get past that problem that you're having with wipes?
Wipes?
Or not wipes, but the issue pertaining people dropping out doing normal MMO RPG shit. I'm getting like high
I mean,
frame
can we
rates and
talk
low
about
frame
this
rates at the
after
same
I
time.
am done with my dungeon, please?
Well, I was gonna
Can
come
we
and
talk
join
about
you.
this after?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
but let me
Have to get to
do it
level 7.
after them before, because I'm already like pretty fucking tilted.
I forgot I got it to level 7.
7 is to get in the guild, but then to do the dungeons that I'm doing are level 50.
Holy
It
shit.
takes you like 2 hours of gameplay to get to level 50. So don't worry about it. What the fuck? Morning?
Alright, there it is. Oh, and it's actually picking up on my stream pretty good too.
Do you want to learn a new skill?
So, Clay sent you. The second half of the password is whispers.
You want... By the way, many of the townsfolk, including myself, have been brought to health by Martinet's healing skills. Please take care not to let anything happen to her. Keep an eye out for anyone suspicious on your tail, just in case.
At first, Melky pretended not to know anything about Martinet. It turns out she had gone into hiding, fearing the Archeum Legion. When you showed Clay's token to the villagers, told you where to go, and gave you the full password, the Light Fragment Whispers.
I wasn't expecting any visitors. I haven't seen you around before, so what brings you here? I see.
I want what the
Clay sent
sister
you to
battle
me
hood
because
look.
of my research. The truth is, Senzi, if you're suffering from the effects of mana frenzy as well, a mana calming potion can alleviate your symptoms. I'd brew one for you, but I just used my last batch of ingredients. And unfortunately, I must stay here for the time being. Then I'll tell you where to go and what I need. Head to the Golden Apothecary in the Golden Rye pastures. You'll be able to find some rancid powder. Bring me some rancid powder, and I'll make you an improved mana calming potion. You know how to use waypoints, right? If you aren't sure, go ask Priestess Grace. Using them makes it a breeze to return after procuring materials.
Okay.
Oh dear,
Okay.
you look...
That is the charm.
Your symptoms are clearly getting worse. Hurry, bring me some rancid powder.
Rancid powder.
Castleton Infirmary has been closed for some time, due to rumors that the Archeum Legion was hunting Martinet. It was to trick them into thinking that Martinet, who had worked as a healer
worries,
there,
buddy.
had left. While in hiding, she is still researching a cure for her sister's star fragment side effects.
15th time is a charm, guys.
15th time.
It's okay.
You still have unanswered questions, I see. Waypoints are one of the greatest implementations of Benelux magic. They allow you to instantly traverse from one location to another. Originally, teleportation was a spell that only the most skilled wizards were able to cast, by creating distortions between spaces using the elements of wind and earth. It was the wizard Clay who completed the schema to make waypoints, so that teleportation could be accessible to everyone. Anyone can use a waypoint without any special training. Try placing your hand on the waypoints in the plaza and at the Golden Rye pastures. Afterwards, talk to the Resistance officer Ashton. He'll explain the rest.
I actually countered that, but okay.
Lord Hobbs of Laslan resisted Revolupius, who had usurped the throne, but his dominion was taken by the Archeum Legion. However, Laslan was freed again by the Founders Order, led by Captain Da Vinci, and the Laslan Allied
You beat that
resistance
dungeon?
forces were founded here.
Not yet. Yeah, I mean, hey, better than before. What? One more tries, I'd say. You should watch instead of asking me if I'm done, by the way. Like, I am streaming.
I'm playing the game.
I know.
I can't do both on a handheld. I'm streaming Thrones and Liberty and playing it.
Fuck me. Fuck me. Fuck me. Come on.
And
Healer.
on this
Healer.
one.
Healer.
I'm still running like 60 frames per second.
gods cherish us all.
Take a gander before you head off on your adventure. I'm sure.
Huh? Where are all the hunters going?
I'm gonna have to play this on my PC. I can't see shit. Can't see. I'm straining my fucking eyes looking at that thing. Because everything is so far away on this damn thing. The screen is 7 inches long or 7 inches wide, and I'm fucking trying to strain my eyes looking at that. It's like hurting my fucking brain.
We located the ancient Dark Angel's ship in the heart of the Space Hulk. After finding out that Squad Gideon had been slain, we fought a horde of Xenos as we conducted investigatory missions to uncover this enigmatic vessel from our dark and distant past. The Deathwing moved to secure entry into the old ship, while we overcame the energy and psychic defenses created by the Gene Stealers. Hard fought was the battle, but the bridgehead had been established, and progress to our objectives continued. We are the Emperor's Blade.
Tony, you still in that dungeon?
Yeah. 16 wipes.
Holy shit, dude.
Oh yeah. It's not a good one.
It's a hard dungeon.
No, it's not. Hard to play with these people.
You can't blame people.
Oh, you can.
Am I still watching your stream?
Believe
actually?
me, and I am really kind about it.
Yeah, I'm actually still partially watching your stream. I can't believe this little device is handling all of this. My regular PC at home could barely handle all this shit. I was watching your stream low-key without even knowing. Streaming my game on my, like, streaming YouTube pretty much. And playing 2 different games, and the thing still didn't crash or turn off on me. That's kind of very impressive. Because I'm playing this on a handheld device. Like pretty much the equivalent of a Steam Deck. Like, yeah, and it's actually like running really good. But I am going to pause your stream though, because only because I want to be able to get some more frames.
That's fine.
Because I am running at 60, but this thing goes up to 144. I want to see what it does. I don't really get time to play this thing like that. Not as much time as I would like.
That I have Down syndrome. Oh, fuck me. Fuck me. Fuck me.
Damn, Tony, you're making it very appealing to. Don't be teasing me. Hey, Glenn, what are you playing?
What did it say?
What's Glenn playing?
I have no idea, but Glenn knows my pain.
What time is it for you guys anyway?
It's
Like 9:30 in the morning, 10:30 in the morning.
8 o'clock.
What time is it for me? 3:07. I knew it was getting about that time. I'm starting to get tired. I must be a demon. I like to go to sleep at 3 in the morning.
Fair. I'm done with this dungeon.
Awesome. So you want to talk about gaming now?
Give me a second. Let me actually figure out what my name is, please.
It is Laura Kumquat.
Lord Camelot? Sure. I like being Lord Camelot.
Miss Jokes on Dick. I can't believe South Park got away with that on TV.
This was so painful.
They made
This
sex.
was so excruciating.
They had a sex ed episode, right? And in South Park.
I got the Eldritch Ice Band. I got the Eldritch Ice Band. Go fuck yourselves. That was worth everything. Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Fucking fuck.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds great.
It's my end game ring. One of my end game rings. One of the two that I need for end game. Holy shitty titty.
Shitty titties.
Oh, the pain and suffering was worth it in the end.
That's not where I thought you were gonna bring it at.
In the end, it was worth it in the end.
Now say it in Arabic.
Huh?
I said now say it in Arabic.
What am I gonna, what am I saying in Arabic?
The end was worth it.
ما شاء الله حبيبي وعيال خلاب الحيلة بالله كباب الله يا ذل.
I feel like you made up some of those words.
All of them were made up. It is the pride and joy of an Arabic person to fuck with you in that way.
No, because I heard real Arabs talk like that.
Yes, we do. All the time. I got the fucking ring at least. Now I've got 2 pieces of my end gear. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you're going with ice?
What?
So you're going with the
Ice?
Yeah,
What you mean the ice?
you know, the ice.
Fuck you talking about, bruh? Drunk ass motherfucker.
I'm not drunk. I'm just a little tipsy.
High ass motherfucker.
I am drinking Heineken.
We have to quickly destroy the Archaeotech engine.
Nothing could be done hastily and prudently, Brother Barakiel.
So answers an apothecary.
So Trump went on Joe Rogan and said that the only thing that he likes from the European countries is that they have good food, and that he wants to make that here in America now. Like he wants to make a law saying that we can't have processed shit in our food no more. Like he's gonna make the same exact list that the Europeans have banned. And I think that's pretty good. Get rid of some of the obesity problems.
Hell yeah. Is that what you need? Banning things. Definitely. That's what's gonna help.
No, it's like
Not actually regulating the food.
that's what he means by regulation. He wants to ban preservative, or not preservatives in whole, but like the nonsense chemicals they be putting in shit to like not put real food in it. Like something they can make up real quick with a little bit of water and powder. like that shit's not good for you. A lot of our shit is like that. It's like synthetic food. It's like 50% real, 50% fake.
Ba-da-da, ba-da, ba-da, bum.
Like, what is even
Ba-da,
food glue?
man, the moonlight and shadow. What?
Like, what is even food glue? Because horse semen is edible as long as it's like, you know, put some sugar in it, some spices. I'm pretty sure that you can put together some meat, some horse semen without the chemicals.
Be banned off Twitch.
I'm on YouTube.
You need to be banned off every single platform available.
You said you need to be banned off of every single platform. Why? Why that bad, Tony?
They're horrible.
No, I'm not that bad.
Terrible.
You love me.
Sometimes. That ring off of that.
Yeah, that's a little too loud for what I'm doing right now. But that does sound very satisfying in these headphones.
In the moonlight shadow.
Oh, that's much better for what I'm doing. Because I can still
Alright, so
hear
you're saying that you wanted to do something in regards to something else?
So you said that you were experiencing difficulties in that game, and I wanted to know what they were and how you could improve on them in your game.
Oh, you're talking about which part? Like, because dying is normal. That's not unusual.
No, because I don't know what you and Glenn were talking about. We were in the middle of the dungeon. You can't really elaborate. Glenn.
Oh, basically the issue with today was that the majority of people tend to be either, oh, quick, go on YouTube and learn the mechanics of this dungeon, or, you know, like, you either know how to do it, or you're our word, or a noob, or, you know, a piece of shit, or whatever, or you get kicked out of the group, and stuff like that. Like, it's crap, because it kind of ruins the concept of games. Where's Glenn, actually? Glenn, are you there? Lenny, are you there? You never hear that. It's interesting to talk about something. Is he muted? I don't know, on Discord or something?
I don't know. I'm not in Discord right now. I can hear you guys in Discord, but I'm playing games.
He's not muted. Glenn, are you alive?
If I walked away from the Sesame, still reading.
Maybe. But yeah, the problem with games nowadays is people don't play fun. They just, it's like a job. I literally read world chat, some guy literally saying, I need to find the motivation to keep grinding, or like to keep doing that mission. I'm like, why would you need motivation to play a game? I don't understand. Why would you need motivation?
Because I mean, it's an MMORPG, so it's like the same motion like back in the day. It was like a little too much brain power to at the time set up in the amount of internet we had to play Ready or Not or like these action shooters. So we stayed
Yeah,
until,
but
like,
that's the
before
thing.
bed.
You don't need motivation if you can't do it or you don't feel like doing it. Just don't do it. That it's a game. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, but he likes the game so much. I get it.
That's not an excuse for you to need motivation.
You're right about that.
You're creating yourself a burnout situation. At some point, you're gonna hate it. This is not going to the gym where you really need the motivation some days, because motivation is what you need for discipline. Discipline is consistency, and consistency doesn't come easy. But like, unless this is how you pay your rent, so you're a pro player, and you need the motivation some days to be like, I really don't feel like doing aim training on CSGO today, but this is what gives me my, my rent.
Yeah.
Then yeah, sure, that's when you need motivation. But if you're just playing for fun, what's the point of doing that? You're gonna burn out.
And you're not lying.
You're absolutely gonna burn out. Painful to think that people are treating games this way too, because games are a crucial part of our childhood. They mean so much to us. They represent a lot of time spent having fun, enjoying great moments with friends. Like, the whole point is you get on a game and you're in a meeting with a friend and you're like, okay guys, let's do this dungeon, or let's do this something, and all of you enjoy that moment. You come back from work and you're looking for that moment because that's your hobby. That's something that you have fun on. Whatever it is. Like, of course, when I make my game, I'm gonna make sure that there are also moments where you can fly, definitely. But those aren't gonna be the either you do this or you're never achieving it.
Yeah,
I want it to be one of the options. That's one of the options to achieve it. To be fair to you.
I think that gaming is mostly shit nowadays because they try to cater to the audiences and some people try to grind it like a job because they want the
Yes.
like dark time.
Yes.
Myself wanting to grind it like a job because I want the $1 billion skin. That you're an ultimate player because you cannot buy that skin.
Mission status accepted, brothers.
So
you see, I agree to some certain, like, on the first point that you made, the one where games are shit because it's trying to cater to multiple people.
We located
Yes
the
and no.
ancient Dark
The
Angel
problem is
ship
they're trying to
in the
cater to
heart of
multiple
the
people
Space
in the
Hulk.
incorrect way.
After finding out that Squad
So
Gideon
the way
had
to
been slain,
cater
we
to
fought
different
a
kind
horde
of
of
players,
Xenos as
right?
we conducted
To
investigatory
add
missions
elements
to
to your
uncover this
game that
enigmatic vessel.
encompasses those different players. For example, Glenn likes RTS. I like survivals. You like shooters.
yeah, but
right?
then it'd be something
So-
like Arma, where it's like free-formed in every way.
Well, not really, because at the end of the day, what is really RDS about Arma? There's not that much RDS.
I mean,
there's
for
not
the
that
Zeus,
not
it
that
is
much.
Just for the Zeus, pretty much. Everybody
Uh,
else is
for
like
the
regular
Zeus,
game.
you mean Zeus? You mean campaigns?
No, like the people that actually tower. So in the Zeusing, how my loose conception, how it works, how they explained it to me is, they pretty much see the entire map top down and they add things as if is like a RTS game. So they're playing an RTS game while you're playing whatever campaign they're concocting in that RTS game.
Yeah. So that's the campaign creator, the Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So the thing about it, right? I used to fuck around with the Zeus a lot, the campaign creator, and that's just not RTS concept that I'm talking about. So when you're trying to incorporate in one game. Let's talk about an MMORPG, right? You've got a massive world with a lot of players, and then you need to add these different elements that are gonna work
After finding out that Squad Gideon
for
had
many
been
different
slain,
players.
we fought a horde of
So,
Xenos as we conducted.
Mikey likes shooters. Great. Okay, so the basic concept of this game is going to be a first-person shooter or third-person shooter. So, okay, we're looking at games like...
We located the ancient Dark
Great,
Angel ship
fantastic.
in the heart of the
We
space hub.
also want to incorporate RDS.
After finding out
RTS.
that
Okay,
Squad
so what
Gideon
can we
had been
add as an
slain,
element of
we
RTS to
fought
make
a
it make sense? Well, we've got the conquering areas, we've got, you know, battalion versus battalion, commands and stuff like that. But then you want to add PvP, so you're thinking,
We
okay,
located the
this
ancient Dark Angel
this
ship
situation
in the
into
heart
a
of the space
battlefield
hub.
kind of concept. So
After
player
finding
against
out that
player, or
Squad
guild
Gideon
against
had
guild,
been
clan
slain,
against clan, etc.
we fought a
Faction versus faction. Okay, we've got that one. What else? But we want PvE. Okay, great. So we've got not only, you know, faction versus faction, but we add the concept of capturing convoys, for example, right? So every
We
convoy
located the
has
Dark Angel ship in the heart of the
reinforcements or
space hub.
supplements for your army,
After
which
finding
is
out that
required to
Squad
keep
Gideon
going
had been
forward,
slain,
right? Because your soldiers
we
need to
fought
help, your soldiers need to drink, etc., so they keep going with the campaign. Okay, fine. What else? So the whole point is figuring out how to incorporate things that people enjoy in one
We
without
have to prevent the
going
enemy
over the
being
top,
reinforced
because then
from the
obviously it
nests
becomes too
we have
complicated
just
for anybody
discovered.
to enjoy.
We located the ancient Dark
That's
Angel
where the
ship
issue is.
in the heart of the space Hulk. After finding
It's
out
not
that Squad
easy. It's
Gideon
really
had been
not
slain,
easy being a game
we
developer.
fought
It's absolutely not easy being a game developer, because if you either block out 90% of your dream that you want to create because you only need to focus on that 10% to make it a niche market that actually functions in that niche, or you want to expand into that 100, but then you're going to need a massive team
we
behind you.
located the ancient
Insanely
Dark
massive
Angel
team to be able
ship
to cater
in
to
the
everything,
heart
and
of the
not
space
everybody
Hulk.
can handle that kind of game
After
on the
finding out
computer,
that
or
Squad Gideon had been
and
slain,
hell, not everybody
we
can handle that
fought
game
a
on a
horde
day-to-day
of
basis.
Xenos.
People need to go to
Conducted
work,
investigatory
so
missions.
they won't be able to play it. You need to figure out a way to allow the people that want to hardcore your game to be able to, but to not alienate or like gate the game from the people that don't have that time and they just want to have that fun when
Yeah,
they come
like
back
some
home, play for like a
casual-
couple hours.
Like something
Yes.
like for something like that to work, I feel like it would have to be different tiers of lobbies. Like if you're a hardcore gamer, join this lobby. If you're not, if you're a casual gamer, join this lobby. You know what I'm saying? That type of situation where it can like kind of segregate the player base in a way to where it's all casuals in one and all players that actually play the game daily in another.
Exactly, but that is perfectly fine, and that's how it should be done. All right, that's exactly how it should be done. But there's also the division between PvE and PvP.
Well, you
So
make
how
a
do you-
dedicated mode. On the front
Well,
page
that's
of
the
the
thing,
game, when
you're-
you boot up the
when you-
game, you make a separate game mode, almost like they made COD Zombies as a separate game mode, all entirely into its own thing, reusing assets, and you make it into its own flushed out PvP
That
mode.
would be fine if we weren't talking about an MMORPG. You cannot do that in MMORPG.
I mean,
The
you could if
expectation
it
is
was
you
like
get
in a
one game
war
and you launch.
situation, you could do skirmishes. So you would gather your troops, and everybody in that skirmish, it would support up to like maybe 300 players in a skirmish, right? You have everybody in that troop rally against that cause, and boom, then it transfers you all to this cutscene real quick that you can all skip in your own free will, which boots you into this whole different part of the game that's a completely like different experience, where it's almost like a third person or a FPS title type of shooter, and it's actually flushed out almost like Battlefield but on a larger scale. People would really fall in love with that, because if you get tired of the building and crafting your soldiers and your crafting and all of that stuff, then you could go to the PvP section, which is actually a flushed out conquering type of gameplay with all live players.
The point of it, right, is you need to be able. So, the beauty of an MMORPG, right, is once. Okay, how can I explain this in the most
I mean, you can't tell me that that idea
simple
wouldn't be
way?
pretty cool though.
We
Like if
have
you had any
threat.
type of
The
force
enemy
situation
being
going on
reinforced from
in
the
the game,
nests
or
we
not,
have
yeah,
just
in the game,
discovered.
then you can go ahead and just rally everybody to that cause. Like, say if it's a community mission type situation, or it's a quest that multiple people have to complete to keep going. A lot of people will be attracted to that quest naturally, and they will go towards it as if it was any other quest. But when you enter the quest, it's a completely different experience based on the quest type. So if you could go like the Nier Automata route too, where you go ahead and get every type of gamer in a way where you can fucking have one map be like a mini game type of shit where you have to do like certain scenarios with hacking or some shit like that, terminals and stuff like that. And then another is if you like, if like say if you're like a scientist, that would be like your archetype. Say if you're a soldier, your archetype would be going to the front lines and actually using the scientist gear that they make for the soldiers that the real person made. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be its
Mm,
own little working game within a game within a game within a game that keep people hooked because it's all
that's
different.
yeah. That's more or less the concept behind it, and it's just all about classes and the way
Hmm.
people want to play it. But at the end of the day, the important thing, right, is when you get into an MMORPG, the least, the less the menus, the better,
Oh yeah.
right? So
Like
less
I'm not
menus there
saying,
are
I'm
around for
saying
you to click.
like it's possible like to make it integrated. Sorry for cutting you off, but it's a possibility to make it integratable with the actual world using rally points. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying that if you are a soldier, say if you're in a soldier class, right? And your commanding class tells you, which is the RTS players, they tell you, hey, we need you to go to such and such location. Your squad needs to go there. Then everybody would rally to that situation point, and the game would or not psychological, but physically change for the soldier players. The people that are making crafts will still be in that lobby making crafts, and once the soldiers are done doing their deed in their fucking game mode or whatever the fuck, because you don't even have to make it a different game mode. You could just transport them to a different part of the map automatically. You know what I'm saying? It's possibilities, because I see it with, like simpler skeletonized ways with the Zeuses and stuff made by a 17-year-old, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's possible and it's something that can be done, and they don't have to deal with menus. It's all integral to the game, meaning that it's immersive as hell. When you get into the game, you're in the game 100%. You might have to deal
That's
with
the
a
thing, though.
loading
You
screen or two.
cannot. That's
Like,
the thing. You cannot think about adding a Zeus concept
no, no,
to an
no, no, not a Zeus,
MMORPG.
not a Zeus concept. I'm talking about, so the RTS players, right? The people that like playing RTS, they would be the
Yeah,
people that would be considered the command class, right? The command class would then be the people that
not
divert
necessarily.
resources. They would like, cause that's the part of an RTS game mostly, is to divert resources, to gather troops, to gather resource, or to make what do you call it, alliances with other troops and shit like that, so the armies grow and stuff like that. And then it's more of like a RTS type of strategy thing where you guys are calling the shots and you know the war table, and we're just cogs in the machine, so we don't necessarily know the war table, but we're following orders. So it makes sense, everything falls into place making sense.
Yeah, that would be the difference between a team leader, a squad leader, a normal
Yeah, but
soldier,
this the
etc.,
team
etc.
leader, but the team leader would have direct command or direct contact to the people that's playing RTS, as if it was their general or high command.
Yeah, I mean those are fine, but those are usually when you turn that game, when you create that kind of thing, you're taking away a lot from the people that don't completely care about the political.
But that's what I'm
That's
saying. The
again
other part
one
of
of
the
the issue.
game, this is the other part. Like I touched it briefly, but I didn't really go into it. Like the other two factions, but the third or the fourth, it'd be like split up into like a third faction that has like sub factions in it, because it would be like pretty much the equivalent to the Mechanicum is the only thing that I can think of. Like basically your engineer class. These are your builders. So the RTS class is the people that gives the resources to the builders depending on where their location is and what's the need depending on the battle map that's controlled by somebody like me or you, monthly or quarterly or whatever the fuck, where we update the battle scale and tip the scale a little bit. So we take away or add or you give or take or add to the map, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that, which gets people coming back because it's infinite replayability. The people that don't want a war, they can go ahead and craft and build and sell things and make stores for the soldiers that want to play the warring, and they come over and interact with the regular people that's selling things, that's building things, that's crafting things, and it's an initiative for those people that war to keep warring because they get paid for warring, and the RTS guys get paid for making sure that everybody else is getting paid. You know what I'm saying? So it's like an in-game currency that keeps like making its own economy that people get invested in and that you can invest real money into to get a leg ahead of other people.
Think about what you just said and think about how complicated it is for a normal player to get into that.
I mean, it's not really, because if you're a normal player and you're a casual type, more than likely the soldier class would be the most appealing. So we would have to make the art style the most appealing to the audience at hand, which will most likely be males in their 30s or 40s. So you would have to, or
Yeah, but
late
what
20s to
does that
40s.
have to do?
So
What
you would
with
have
the
to,
whole concept behind it?
the whole concept behind it is that the casual players would have a casual type experience, meaning that they would have like pretty much a PvP, PvE type experience. The RTS people would have a more like online RTS type of situation going where they can communicate between the PvP, PvE players as if, you know, it's AI, but everybody, it relies on everybody working together pretty much. And then you have the people that are just the builders, the crafters, the grinders. They're the people that
Forget
are
the
their own.
grinders, builders, and all of these. Those are fine. Okay, those are
Yeah.
okay. You need to understand one thing. What you're talking about is fundamentally impossible because you're creating a class for RTS people, but what if there are many RTS people? Then who is going to take command? How are they going to do it?
What
The
do you mean?
max,
It's just a
then
big. It's a
somebody,
well. It's a massive map because it's a
it doesn't matter if it's a
MMORPG.
massive map.
So
The
you would have
army, right?
no. Listen.
Hold
So
on,
you
hold
would
on,
have
hold on.
different
Listen to me.
platoons,
It doesn't
and there'd be
matter if there
different
is a massive
platoons
map.
per
The
server.
issue is, even if you have different platoons, it would not matter because there's always somebody that has to be in charge at the top that is doing the decisions.
Yeah.
And that is impossible because who is going to be at the top?
Well,
People are not going
general
to
is
be okay
devs.
with getting on the game.
Well, the
Yeah,
general
but
is
who is going to
devs.
be the general?
The dev. That's what, like, almost like Helldivers 2, where they update the map. So when we're like, that's what I was saying. We're the
What?
generals. The general would be the developer because the general would add or take away different scenarios that's on the map almost weekly because it's something that's possible. You just get somebody to make a fucking different AI or computer generated map scheme, put it in the fucking code, and then upload it as an update, and everybody gets into the game, and they're like, "Oh shit, we're being invaded."
That's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. That's very unfeasible too. Like every week you have to
No,
download
not
and
every week.
update people that have
I'm no, not every week. I'm
is
just saying, like, it's not something that's inconceivable because it's been done like multiple times in other
no, it's
instances.
inconceivable in an MMORPG. You cannot do that. It's inconceivable in an MMORPG because basically you're asking people to every week or whatever to
No, no, no,
download
not to.
an
I know.
update.
I'm not
with a
asking
map,
for
and
no. Listen, I'm not asking for an update or nothing like that. I'm just saying that'd be the easiest way scenario or easiest case scenario, but it wouldn't be weekly if that's a little excessive. I'm just, talking about, you know, some type of simple as general concept of the plan, not like an in-depth like okay, if I was to flush it out, I probably would make the update schedule probably every quarter, so it would be 3 to 6 months. I would fucking update the game with a different enemy type or something new for the player base to be fresh or refreshed with. But it is equally easy due to online live service games to have community-based challenges, but instead of community-based challenges, we will be tipping the scales of battle, meaning that we can add and subtract enemy at will because it's part of the fucking game. You know what I'm saying? We're the generals. That's something that can be done because it's been done in multiple other games that rely on the community to fucking come together. They have some type of developer or an AI that's takes the general role and computer generates different scenarios. That's exactly how
I'm
Dark
getting a
Tide
headache
works.
just thinking about what you're talking about. I'm
Like
just getting a headache myself
no,
getting
AI
thinking
does
about
all
it.
the like AI does all the heavy lifting. Like what you
No, I'm
do
talking
is
about, okay, so you've got a map,
yes.
and
Say it's a huge ass continental map, right?
y-
Say
y-
it's like
yeah,
say it's
yeah,
like an island or some shit, right? And it's really big.
yeah.
You have war going like say like an armor map, like the Armor 3 map. It's
Sure, the
huge.
Arma map, yeah, Arma 3 map is fine.
Super
Okay.
fucking huge, right? There's multiple
Yeah.
battles going on at that in that map at the same time. There's multiple different
Why?
platoons going on in that battle because it's different fronts of war. It all of these
What
different
about what
fronts.
about the quests that you have to do? What about the story mode that you have to do? What
Well,
about the arenas, the
the
battlefields, the other
story and
PvP
quests.
ones? The
See, this wouldn't work with a story or quest. This would have to be like
Well, yeah,
almost like
exactly. It's an MMORPG. Without a
this.
story, it's not an MMORPG.
This is almost like Ark, which is like an MMORPG, but it's like no story really. Your story is your own. Almost like what's
Ark
that?
is not Ark is not an MMORPG.
But
Ark
no,
is open world survival game.
okay, another one that is an open world RPG that doesn't really have a story was that Amazon game that came out before this one. I forget the name
New
of it.
World?
Yeah, New World. Didn't really have a
It
real.
had a story.
It didn't really have a story. That was the main complaint of everybody that it didn't really have a story. It was mostly you going in, and everybody like loosely compared it to Ark in a way that you had to make your own story, and because the
Yeah,
player
but
base
was there
was so
a quest
toxic,
line?
no, it was like a loose base quest line, almost like Destiny's loose base quest lines. It was very heavily involved with the player base. If the player base wasn't involved, then nobody else was involved. That's why the game failed, because it was too heavily based on the player base.
Well,
Like,
yeah, the game failed. It's not a good comparison at that point.
yeah, because it was too heavily based on the player base. That's what I'm saying. That a AI or a human developer can take the role. Say if the game gets massively successful, then we can hire a human developer to take the role of adding or subtracting AI physically for the game. And then you have people that can be the bad guys too, you know what I'm saying? So they have their own structure, their own military rankings, their own things that's going on the other side. You know what I'm saying? And they have okay, so the benefit of being on the bad guys is that you have AI to back you up in certain scenarios. The downsides of being a bad guy is that you don't have air support, you don't have technicals, and you have limited ammo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then why would anybody play the bad guy?
Because just to play the bad guy, because you can get ammo off of looting regular soldiers. So if the more that promotes people that likes PvP and PvE to fight against each other as if a skirmish was going on in their own designated spot away from people that like to grind and play the game and not be killed every 2 seconds. And then you have people that
Nobody's gonna do that, my guy. Nobody's gonna do that, my guy. Imagine Counter-Strike, terrorist versus counter-terrorist, but the terrorists only get really old fucking Neanderthal clubs
But they
versus
do
the
though.
counter-terrorists that have.
Look at Medal
What
of
would you mean
Honor.
they do? The terrorists have the terrorists have the same weapons they have in against the counter-terrorists.
Yeah, but
They
look
have
at
the
Medal of
equivalent.
Honor Warfighter too. Warfighter had a perfect example of that. And also,
What's Warfighter?
Warfighter was the second Medal of Honor reboot that came out in like 2013, and they had their classes for the terrorists. Like that was the last one that had balls before they start calling them enemy team. The terrorist team had zip ties on their weapons and fucking cloth instead of fucking actual like cable management and shit like that. Like all their weapons were like kind of concocted from hand, which gave the game its own
Yeah, but they
personality.
function the same way.
Yeah, but they did have less ammo. Your whole point was to gather different like points of interest, and the more that you took the points of interest, meaning like conquering in battlefield, that you would get ammo
Yeah.
crates and ammo caches and shit like that that was available to the terrorists through other terrorists like they
Is
would in
that
real
game
life.
even still alive? Like I've never heard of that game in my
It
life.
was alive up until like 2022, and then they shut it down because nobody was playing Battlefield 2042, and they started shutting down all of the older games because they wanted to promote people to play 2042.
Anyways, that's completely cool. It's just no. It's just no. That's not has
Like
nothing to do with it.
that's
Like
how
you're
I'm
you're
saying, like it gives it a strategic advantage though, because yeah, you don't have as much ammo, but you have AI. The people that are playing as regular soldiers have ammo, they're well equipped because they have, the backing of other soldiers and the compounds and infinite ammo pretty much from their base.
I. What AI?
Like it would be PvE, PvP, right? So you would have your
Oh.
AI, which would be PvP or PvE, my bad. Everybody know that's the computer. Is the 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 AI is the fucking NPCs. So you will have
Yeah,
NPCs
but
on your
who
squad.
is the AI? Like
The
I'm
enemy
lost
team,
now
the
again.
enemy team would be the NPCs, which is AI.
And they're the
Also,
terrorists?
yes, or not terrorists, but they would be whatever faction you would want them to be, which
And
would
they
be the
have less
bad.
ammo.
They would be the bad guy types, right? Say if you're
That have
going,
less ammo.
yes, they have less ammo, but they have the ability to have, and this is just spitball and shit, but this is what I'm saying, like a loose concept of how it could work. They have less ammo,
This could never work.
they have less ammo capacity, but they have the added capacity of PvE, meaning that they have AI that's on their squad, meaning like almost as if you're playing as a scav and Tarkov
Yeah, why the
versus if
fuck
you
would I
playing
want to
as,
play with AI on my
because as a scav in Tarkov you don't got the best gear, you got pretty much shit gear that's tier 1 gear, and you have to kind of just find better gear and loot out and you get a free life pretty much. And you have the added benefit of not being killed by other scavs. But if you played as a PMC, you will be killed on sight by any scav that's in the game. And you have the
Yeah, but
best
that's
ammo.
Tarkov. What that Tarkov only works because you lose your stuff after you get shot.
Yeah, it could work the
Tarkov's
same way.
replayability is that. What the fuck? What person would want to do that? Nobody would want to do that.
You telling me it's not a market out there for somebody that wants a tactical shooter that never ends, and that they have infinite replayability with friends, and that it caters to multiple different audiences, and all these audiences of friends
In
can
what
play together.
world? Absolutely not. In what world would anybody want a tactical shooter in which you get to play as the bad guy as your main character,
No,
where you have
you can
always
play
have
as the
less
bad
ammo?
guy. You can play as the bad guy. You can play as a good guy. And both bad guys and good guys have similar
That's not an
factions and abilities.
MMORPG, Mikey. You're giving me a headache, brother.
So you're
An
telling me,
MMORPG, you have to load the game, create your own character. You embody your character. You are your character. You don't get to make different characters.
What are you
Like
talking
every
about?
other character you make is just classes, but those classes they're
That's
still the
what I'm
character you
talking about. That's
embody.
that's exactly what I just said. I said you have your
But that's not
RTS
the point
class.
of
Your
it.
RTS class would be your
No,
basically your
God, no,
commanding
that's a
class.
headache.
Your RTS.
Fuck no, man.
How was it be a headache? It's the same difference of
No,
every
that's
other
a
game.
horrible. It's absolutely completely
Because
different.
the only
Like
difference is the
you
only
always
difference
have
is
the
that
same start point.
everybody is the same exact, which is like they're all doing the same exact thing, meaning that
Oh, the whole point of an RTS character,
if anybody
if you were to
wanted
make an
to,
RTS character, hold on. If you wanted to make an RTS character, quote unquote RTS, or what you would prefer to call them, like commanding officers, that makes no sense. You make your main character, and then you just keep playing the game until you reach that level, and you get the competence to become a
no, it
commanding
would be a
officer and become an RTS
class.
character. So,
It would
well,
be a
no, that's
class that you
horrible. Why would anybody pick that as a class?
because you
That's
can
fucked.
interchange the classes. You're not like glued to that
That's the worst
class.
possible thing you can do. Why would I want to interchange my class?
What do
I
you
am
mean?
trying
Like
to embody the character that I am playing. That's
if you
not an
want to play
MMORPG anymore.
if you want to play a regular like if you want to play a regular RTS then play or a regular MMO then play a regular MMO, but this would be something innovative that's different that hasn't been seen before. Like you're
Well, it
telling me
hasn't
that
been seen because it doesn't function.
it
It
does
just makes no
function.
sense.
It
No,
does
even from a development standpoint, in my own head, it's just making no sense. There is no linear codification that I could even think about.
because
Like, why would I make a character and then,
it's a dynamic
like, I would make it.
sandbox. It's a dynamic sandbox that's both supported by developers, loose storytelling, and the communities filling in the blanks. Almost like how Halo's Inception was even created in the first place. It was a
Oh,
basic ass
God, no.
shooter that nobody really cared about, but the community made it into what it is today. That's what it is like. It's something like Destiny almost. That something that the
Destiny
community
has a massive story. What do you mean loose story? Destiny is all story with like 10%
Destiny
gameplay.
1 in their first original 2 story was ass. And you know why? It was very
But nobody
loosely
cares about
told.
Destiny 1. Everybody talks about Destiny 2 because of how beautiful the story is.
No,
The best part of Destiny 2 is the story.
the first chapter of Destiny 2 was garbage. That shit was fucking hot fire garbage. And everybody knows
Yeah.
that the second wave of or the second trilogy, I should say, in the saga for Destiny 2 was the best so far. And then I'm hearing good things about the last trilogy, but I haven't played it all the way through to give
Witch
my opinion.
Queen, the Witch Queen was a fucking masterpiece when it
Witch
comes to
Queen. No,
storytelling.
I'm talking about
It
the
was
Witch
really
Queen.
good.
I think it's Witch Queen be or no, it's Redfall, Witch Queen, and Beyond Light, which was their own things, and they all
Yeah.
explored resurrection through the enemy's eyes, and then you had
They were all really good, but
but
they were story based. You had a massive quest
that's
line
what
and it
I'm
was
saying,
great.
but
It was beautiful to play.
it was a loosely told story. It wasn't like a traditional game where you get into it and you have to go through this quest line and get into this and that and this and that. If you were to make a sci-fi game that was in a war-torn world, and this is not nothing to do with your game. This is just like something I just created out of the thin of my, thin air, right? So this is like just a random ass game where you get into it, you want to play a shooter that is different than most shooters, that's not going to be just dynamic, just a shooter pretty much. You get into it, it's more so about playing with your friends. If you want to play the campaign type modes, then you would have a more tailored experience for campaign during that campaign type mode. You would have interaction still, you would have people still walking around you and stuff like that, but your quest line would be a little different. You would actually have story based things going on, and that's up to the developers, but just the loose construction or the loose bones or the loose concept of
Everything
it.
you're telling me is a loose concept. I have no idea what you're saying.
Because I
I
don't
cannot
have,
even
I
wrap
don't,
my head around it.
it is a loose concept because it's like, okay, I don't know everything that's going to go into this thing, but if I was to think of just something that I would want to see in an art or MMO that I've seen in other games, that if they could compile these things and put it into a universe or make a universe that fits this so perfectly, it would come out so good. So like the first thing that came to my mind, not even
Okay,
gonna
give me a
lie,
sec.
is
Give
like
me a sec. Give me a sec. Do me a favor. I'm gonna go to the bathroom for a second. Do me a favor and think about the start of the game. Only the start for now. All right, like the moment you launch the game, what should you see? All right, so give me a second. Let me go to the bathroom, and then when I come back, you can tell me. All right,
mhm.
be right back.
Gotta be destroyed.
May the machine spirit protect my armor. Action complete. Vengeance, God powers.
All right, hello.
All right, you
I
ready?
am back.
Okay.
Wait, where's Glenn? Glenn, are you there? Are you back? Glenn, for fuck's sake, wake up.
Glenn is out.
Oh my god, he's always out. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so you would start out at
Yeah.
your class selection class or class selection
Okay, so
screen,
I
right?
double click the game. How about, listen, I do this and you add in the blanks, all right?
All right.
Let's work that way. So let me write so we can see where the issues in what you're saying are. I got off the game now, so I can actually have some fun. Let me get my jacket off and focus on what you're trying to say. And see if. Oh my god. We'll write a GDD together. You know what a GDD is?
Yeah. You said you
What is a GDD?
game design document or something like that.
Exactly. Game design document. Good job. All right. So let me bring up one of my GDD templates that we could use. Where's my studio file? Okay. All right. Let's go with a. If this opens up, that would be great. Okay, so we start. The target platform. What are the platforms?
PC.
PC.
That's
it?
thing that's the only thing that will be able to run this game.
Okay,
Realistically.
PC. Right. So, do you have a title in mind? Or shall we skip that, go to the next?
Just go to the next, because I just came up
Okay,
with
so,
it.
all right. Core concept. What is the core concept of the game?
Okay, so it would be a futuristic or a semi, not as futuristic, but semi near future war, all out war torn world. Pretty much the entire world's at war, including in America and America's soil. So
So World War game.
yeah, but everything is at war, the entire world.
Yeah.
Based
Okay,
based on
so a
the
global warfare,
yes, but it would only focus on one.
futuristic.
No, like it would be present day, but near future. So
Mm.
like 20 years, maybe 15 years. So near
Yeah, but
future, but
type of weapons, type of armor. Is it a futuristic
so it's all
version or is it?
so it's all conventional armor that you would normally see, but tweaked or improved in a way, like cosmetically and pretty much physically, just depending. Like they would use,
Sci-fi.
yeah, like something
So
that they would
modern
use.
sci-fi global warfare.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. What are the main features of the game?
So the main features of the game would be, um, like, all right, what do you mean by features?
Right. So, let me give you an actual example. Since I started playing Throne and Liberty, my computer has taken a beating.
Mm.
All right. Let's see.
You mean like the different things that the game would feature in the game?
It means, if you give me a second, I'll tell you exactly what it means. I just need to find the actual my documents. I can give you an idea. All right. So the main features, right?
Mm.
In the main features, you have a story and what the story is about, the visual style of it, right?
Mm.
The what mechanics could be, so the interesting mechanics and the unique selling points
So the
of the
marketing.
game.
So how I would market
Yeah,
the
the
game
selling
pretty much.
points. Not how you would market it, but what is it? Like, what's the uniqueness of it? What's so different about it?
Alright, so the war story would be like, this is just spitballing here because I ain't really writing nothing down, nothing. I'm just talking.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if I was to make like a story for this type of scenario, it would take place at a certain island or not an island, but a certain continent that was doable, probably like Australia or something, and it would be like ground
Sure.
zero, so everybody can get right into it. You know what I'm saying? Like you experience it with your first hand, how this war unfolds through the years, and then it ends whenever the fuck I want to make another
No,
game. You know
give
what I'm
me,
saying?
give me a no, give me a start of the story. Like, I double click on this, something has to happen. I need to know
Alright,
what the fuck's
so
happening.
if you double click on the game, the first thing that usually happens is you get the logos and then the cutscene. So the cutscene would
Yeah, no, sure.
feature
Get
the
it?
cutscene would
Yeah.
feature like almost like those wartime propaganda films, like it's like all fucking like that reeled up feel, like roll film almost, but it's digital, like somebody edited it like in 2024 type
Yeah,
shit.
the Fallout version. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Fallout version. Sure.
and fucking everybody's like going through shit, is journalism, like newspaper articles like going on telling you what's like basically happening without telling you what's happening, like visual storytelling, saying all out wars breaking out. America just evaded by North Korea, Russia, and China in a unified group effort. You know what I'm saying? It says,
Invaded?
yes. It says
How
that,
did they get there?
and this is all stuff, this is all questions that the player is going to start asking themselves. This is just as soon as you start clicking the game and you open it up the game, right? So it would show different type of weaponry and machinery and the clippings of the news articles that's passing by. All the while you will have a narrator of some type going off and about this spiel about the glory of your nation and how you're going to build it, and he's going to be loose about your nation on, on purpose, so that way you have
Okay.
different
Okay.
nations you could pick or
Okay.
whatever.
You're not getting the point. Let me give you an example of my game so you understand what I'm trying to ask.
Nah, I get what you're
When
saying, but
when
my
some
game's
when I
not
ask
fleshed out like your game is. You wrote something down and I haven't. My
No,
game
no,
is
this
just
is
like
just one of
spitballing.
the games that I have already made, and this game took me like 15 minutes to complete. So I'll just give you an example of this so you can do it in your head and tell me what you're thinking, all right? So example for this game, this one is Chrono Warp, all right?
Mhm.
And this is the story is a little alien trying to learn about Earth starts a simulation that requires it to solve puzzles to proceed to the next area. Those puzzles are based on human historical moments. The alien has to warp back in time to the moment that connects that historical moment to the current moment and acquire an item to fit the puzzle. That's it. That's the story of the game. So, what is the story of your game? What is it?
I
We
don't
have until now we have
like
modern sci-fi global warfare.
you said I double clicked the game. What's the first thing I see? And I told you the first thing you would see. It would get the player drawn in to the experience. You had questions already. Usually questions are a good indicator on people wanting to get drawn in. Now the answers to that question will have to be written, worked on, refined, and then presented to the player through other shit. Like that, I would have to actually
Mikey,
prove.
you are the one that's writing, presenting, and doing, but right now we're writing a GDD to make it make sense. So I need to know what you're trying to say. What is the story? All you said it's a modern sci-fi global warfare. So the world, all of it is at war, but the game is only on an island?
No, the game is going to
On,
be in Australia. So
then
the whole
what's the
world,
point of saying global warfare?
because the whole point of it is that it's an MMORPG, meaning that over time, through funding of your subscriptions and all of that shit, you will see new theaters of war. 10 years from now, the game will not look the same as launch, pretty much as any MMORPG works. You will get new areas, new maps, new modes, new game types, new enemy types, new factions throughout the years, because it's not uh, something that I present to you every 6 months. It's more so like a yearly release, like most of the yearly or bi-yearly release, like most MMOs do when they release DLC content. So it would be just like that, pretty much. You would start out in
But you just
Australia
said
in Dawn Zero because you would get a bunch of foreshadowing through the opening cutscene. Then it would go black and it would be um, day zero, the date, da 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 da. Pretty much how Classic COD used to open up back in the day when they used to do World War II. Gives you your mission assignment,
World
and
War
then
II is
everything's
known. The
blinked.
story is already
No,
known. It's
the
World War
blink.
II.
No, it's not World War II. It's a new futuristic war that's in the near future, so it'll be more akin to World War III, but already in the mix of it, or the start
Yeah,
of
but
it,
that's what
pretty
I'm trying to
much.
say. Give me the story. How did the war start? Why is the war there? Who is it against? Who are you playing? Who's the character?
I mean, I don't fucking know, Tony. You're asking somebody
Brother,
this.
that's
This is
why
a
you need a
MMO.
story writer. It's not
No,
easy being a story writer now,
no,
is it?
no, Tony.
Exactly.
the point doesn't stick because the whole point of me saying the game um idea is the fact of like it would be pretty cool to exist that way I mean the technology's there. It's just about the effort and time and the money. But it's just
Yes,
more
but
so.
can I have a guideline onto what we need to do? If you're saying a global warfare that is based in modern
Yeah, but every
with
time I
modern
say something, you're
technology,
just like you're asking me more questions that go into it, and I'm like, listen,
because I
I
need
can't.
those to understand where you're going.
So if it starts out and all right. So my whole point was like, or my whole thought of it was like, we took it completely somewhere else on my thought of it, because how I thought of it was pretty much, you start out after you see the cutscene and all of that shit, and you see the black screen with the redacted shit. It would go to pretty much a pair of hands, and you have a piece of paperwork in your hands, and you have to fill in the blanks of that paperwork of who you are, what role you are, where you're going in, and it would show you through the character creation tools what each character does, who it's tailored for, what audience should play this, what is recommended by the developers, and then you would have to fill in the blanks because it's an MMO. You would then customize your character because he needs to get his hair cut. He's enrolling into World War III. He's being conscripted into battle. So now you are either going in as somebody that was educated, that is going into officer training, or you're going into infantry because you're just a street kid or a block kid that got conscripted into war, or you're going in as a military engineer, which stays in the outskirts of war, but they are also providing the people that go into war the armaments necessary to do so, meaning that they get resources and gear through doing nomad trials where they don't really get bothered, but they can go and do their own little like thing to get resources pretty much to grind the game out. Like it would be something flushed out for them, flushed out for the people that want a casual experience, and flushed out for the people that want a normal experience or the RTS experience. And it would be upfront and let known through the marketing or whatever the fuck that people can have all three of these choices. You know, that's just my loose concept of it. Now, if you choose a soldier, say if you choose the soldier class, everybody would start on day zero. So day zero, everything's normal, and then all of a sudden, allied nations are starting to be attacked, starting with America. But you're through the eyes, you're an American that's stationed in, or you're whatever nation that's stationed in Australia working for the UN. So when you are sitting there, hearing the news about whatever nation in the West is getting attacked, you're wondering if Australia's next because they didn't get Australia yet. So once they invade Australia,
What
which is
about
the day
Kenya?
zero, huh?
What about Kenya? What about Ghana?
Well,
What about Cote d'Ivoire?
I
What
didn't
about
get
Sri
into all
Lanka?
those. I didn't get into all those damn um
Yeah,
worlds and
because you
stuff.
can't put them all on an island, you potato.
No, I'm not putting them all on the island. I'm starting on Australia, like I said, like 3 times. I said it would be started on like the gameplay experience would be started on Australia. It's other shit going on, and it would start out with day zero after you completed your customer class and did everything you had to do in the boot camp and training and shit. It would take you to the actual story, which would branch off from there to your overall MMO experience. So you would have your commanding officers that's going through let
Okay,
training and
Mikey,
stuff like
Mikey,
that,
Mikey,
stuff
Mikey,
like that.
Mikey, Mikey. Listen to me. Listen to me for a second, all right? I'm trying to flush out what you're trying to tell me, but it is physically impossible. Okay? So let's start again and focus on what I'm trying to tell you. If
How?
you're telling me modern sci-fi, global warfare, and then you tell me it starts in Australia. All right. So the first questions that you need answered. First of all, the first question that you need answered, What are the mechanics of this game? Is it a third-person shooter, a first-person shooter?
I don't know.
Is
I
it one of
wasn't
these
trying to
two?
get into it that deep. I was just trying to tell you the
Well, you
loose
have to
concept
think
of it.
about it, because then a concept doesn't make sense unless you have something that can correlate to that. Because
Well, I
otherwise,
was
all you're
thinking the
doing is
third-person
coming
shooter
up
then,
with,
because
huh?
that makes the most sense. It would be a MMO, so third-person shooter or over the top, really, but you have the option to go
But
in first
what
person.
makes it an MMO? That's the thing. It's not an MMO. Everything you've described till now does not make anything regarding an MMORPG, right? All you're describing to me is just a generic open world game
Demo.
without any nuances of anything. So,
What are you
start
talking
again
about?
with me, all right?
Everything is. What are you talking about, Tony? The character creation class would be for people that want their class for the game, just like it was
No,
for
character
every.
creation class doesn't make it an MMORPG.
What are you talking
There
about,
there are many
Tony?
there are many
When I
games
played
that where
this
you
game,
create
Night
a
and
character
Thunder,
doesn't mean
or
that's an
when I just
MMORPG.
played the game that you just got me on, the Knight and Throne or whatever, the Throne and Liberty.
Yes.
Fucking
That's an
when I
MMORPG.
got into that game, they had the first things first. You're picking your class, your first thing,
Yeah,
where you're
Mikey.
from,
That's an
and where you're getting
MMORPG
your
because
shit.
the story makes it an MMORPG. The character creation per se doesn't make it. There's many.
No, I'm
You can
not
create a
saying
character
that
in
it's.
Minecraft.
I'm Tony. You're misconstruing what I'm saying. I'm saying to
N-
you that with the character creation class screen, you would be able to pick your character, your archetype. It would be considered or explained to you through the character creation screen exactly what players should play this based on the developer's recommendations and what the mechanics of that game type is. Every
Yeah,
game
you
type,
already are limiting. That's not an MMORPG anymore.
no, because every game type will have interactions after the first mission. The first mission would be just to introduce you to the game and your own perspective, depending on what character class you choose. Your own perspective on that same battle would be in place. Then it would go from a small time battle just because the game would be a small time game at first. The more people that play it, the more subscriptions, the bigger the game gets. Because that's how MMO usually works. They give you base content and then they fill in the blanks once they get more money. Like, that's just what it
That's
is.
just not how it. That's just not how an MMO works, though.
So so what are you just supposed to get to the story's end and then grind dungeons until they give you what, another map pack or something, or an expansion?
Basically. But
So
the
that's the
the
same
the
thing.
crucial
You get
part
a
of an
map pack, you get an
MMORPG is the
expansion.
story.
You get a map pack, you
The
get an
crucial part
expansion.
of the
But
crucial part, Mikey,
my whole point is I didn't
You're not
sit down
listening, bro.
because I didn't
Brother, you're
sit
not
down
listening.
because I didn't sit down and write a story for this concept I just made up in my head 5 or 10 minutes ago. That's what I'm telling
No,
you.
because you're not listening to what I'm telling you right now. It doesn't matter if you made it 5 or 10 minutes ago. If you have an idea and you have me right now, you're telling me your idea, and I'm like, okay, let's create something so we can flush out this idea that it makes a bit more sense and see where it actually could go and where it can't go, right? If I'm telling you for now, it's not an MMORPG, you have to trust me, it's not an MMORPG.
Then what
What
is
makes an MMORPG
if you're
is
playing
first
with
and
multiple
foremost,
if you're playing
let me finish my sentence.
like hold on.
It's an
If you're
What makes it
playing
an MMORPG is the story. All right, there is a story happening, and you are one cog in the story. Which
yes,
cog is up to you. Okay, so
exactly.
you want it to be an MMORPG? That is fine. Start with the story. That's how it works. You start with the
Tony,
story,
I'm not about to
then
write a
you can
story
tell
at
me.
4 in the morning. I'm telling you that now.
You don't have to write the story,
I'm
but
just
that's
saying
not
to
the
you.
point.
I'm just saying to you that exactly what you just explained is exactly what I'm explaining to you. You would have different custom characters that all interact with each other after the first mission, explaining how each character works through their own perspective of the same battle. It is the same thing as any type of game when you play the first mission. It's usually scripted and it's all AI and it's all to look cool to get you into the game and so you can learn how to play it. And then once you're in the game, everything is based off of the developers, the AI, or not the AI, but the NPCs, the developers, and making a good story for the player to get immersed in. That is what it's about. Most players that's going to play the game, some of them aren't going to give a damn about the story. They're going to want to grind. So the people that's going to want to grind, they'll have the option to play as the engineers, and they will be able to do the same thing in the same battles, but they don't have to participate in the battle. They have more of an extraction shooter type of gameplay loop where they get to go out into battle after the fact of us fucking shit up to go loot gear and other things that got destroyed in battle to make new crafts and new things. Like it's all collating with everybody online together. The people that make the people that playing the RTS is following the story ahead of everybody else because their perspective is that they're in command because they have the option of pretty much structuring through a sandbox type of way how the next battle should play out. So all of your
Oh,
orders and everything like that will be translated to your squad leaders, and it's an MMORPG, so meaning people have to role play. Your squad leader would have to be the person to translate that information that the general RTS people made for that battle at hand for you guys to follow it. And if shit goes south, you have to call command
but how?
through voice channels. It's just simple as that.
No, I'm saying no. How do you get people that? So I pick RTS, you pick RTS, he picks RTS. Okay,
Mhm.
Glenn picks RTS, Arya picks RTS. Now we're 4 people and we're fighting for the command of one platoon.
No,
That doesn't work.
no. Whoever's the squad leader is 5 star, and so forth, so on until you're down
What
to a
makes me
one
so?
star.
What makes me so?
So
How do I get
whoever's
the 5 stars? What puts
if
me in
you're
command?
squad leader, if you're a squad leader, if you're the person that invited everybody
So are
else,
you.
you're the 5 star.
But so are you.
No, then no, because it's different ranks of generals that all work together. In
Ooh.
combat, well, in combat, how it usually works, you got about 15 to 16 generals that's actually on the barracks. Then you have people inside of the barracks that, like the lieutenants, the sergeants, the underlings, they all report to those generals. Those generals report to the 5 star generals that's back at base on homeland or doing something else, but they all are diverting resources and putting things in play for other people to be able to go to war. So they
Okay,
would give
Mikey.
people the
Again,
go
I'm
ahead.
gonna try
So,
asking you again. I'm gonna try asking you again. Think of what I'm saying. All right.
mhm,
Focus on what I'm saying. Think of what I'm saying. You, Glenn, Arya, and I, 4 of us. We
yes,
pick the RTS character.
yes,
Okay, so that's 4 of us. To get to the point where we can command, we have to level up our characters, right?
yes.
Okay, so let's say the max level is 100. Okay,
Mhm.
now all 4 of us are level 100. What puts you above me?
Just the fact that we're role playing. Just like if I
But
was to
why
play
would I
Arma,
roleplay as you being my
if I was to
commander? I'm
play
the same level as you.
if I was to play Arma, we can only max out at a certain rank. But if we were to play against or play with each other and the scenario called it, then we would role play a little bit lower. If I'm playing with my
But nobody's gonna
friends,
do that.
if I'm playing with my friends, so why wouldn't you? So
Why would I?
you're telling me that if you were the squad leader because you invited everybody to the lobby and they gave you designated squad leader, which you can designate other people into squad leader if you really wanted to through democracy if you want to, you can go ahead and give that person a right to be squad leader. If not, then you could be squad leader. All that squad leader does between the rest of them is yay or nays the final decision, but you all work together to make the battle plan or the battle scenario work out for the guys on the ground, because the guys on the ground is only going to be successful as you are, and the people that loot are only successful as the guys on the ground are at destroying things so they
But
can
go
loot.
back, go back to the top. Don't get lost in the other things. I'm talking exclusively about the RTS. I'm trying to show you why this is flawed. All right.
Mm.
If only us 4 are level 100, right? And all 4 of us are RTS. And I would say, okay, Mikey, you take command. I'll be the sergeant. All right. Glenn will be the team alpha team leader, and Arya will be beta team leader or Bravo team leader. You guys say Bravo.
No,
Bravo
it
team
doesn't work
leader.
like that.
Okay.
Generals don't work like that. When you make a battle plan, most battle plans in real life are made by 4 to 5 generals on the battlefield. They are on base making that call. Then you have your second tier generals. Those are your second stars. Your second stars oversees your battle star generals. So the person that is a battle star general will have the oversee of all the lieutenants, the command. So pretty much it would go into each other. Everything fits into each other like it would in real life. If you are the
What
lowest
I'm
rank
trying to
because
give
you
you
were the last
completely.
person or the lowest rank of the squad member, you would be on the
Mikey,
battlefield
you're missing the point.
leading
Mikey, you're
the
missing the
charge so
complete
you know
point.
what's
There
going
would
on.
be, Mikey, you're missing the point. There would be like, so let's say that your general game, the general amount of people that are playing your game are maybe 100,000. If we're very, very happy, we have 100,000 players, and let's say out of those, there's 50,000 or like even 20,000 people playing RTS. You've got 20,000 generals.
Yeah,
You
but
won't
not
have
9 times out of
20,000
10.
generals divided in general one, and then under that lieutenant, and then the colonel here, and then the sergeant here,
If
and
I
then
have
you're gonna
10,000
have
players,
20,000 generals.
if I have 10,000 players and I have 20,000 generals, then that's just the way that the game works. I mean, I'm gonna have to expand the game. That's just the way it works. If I have
Can't
that many
expand the
people,
game. It's a flaw.
if I
It
have that
doesn't
many
work.
people, if I have that many people coming in, the game is definitely going to be expanded by then to where there's more land for people to conquer and to gain. You can branch off, do
There's
your own
not
thing.
enough land to be able to do such a thing. It just doesn't work that way, because all you're telling, when you say
Obviously, I
20,000
would have to
generals, it's the
limit the
equivalent of saying
servers.
20,000 tanks 20,000 tanks or 20,000
No,
healers doing one raid without any DPS.
obviously, I would have to limit the servers to a doable amount. That's just the way it is. It's going to be limitations, but it still would be fun.
What?
It would be limitations in it in numbers because I couldn't host that many people on that one server with all that stuff. It's impossible. But
But
it
it
still
doesn't
would be
matter.
fun.
Even if it's just 100 people on the server, and 100 of them are generals,
That's
why would
literally
they relinquish command to each other? It makes no sense.
that's literally almost impossible.
But that is what I'm talking about. Let's say that you have
You can only have
100
5
RTS
generals.
players on
If
one
you have-
server.
If you have 100 RTS players in one server, then that's an issue. That's a balancing problem. That they need to.
It's
go
not
to
a
another
balancing
card.
problem. It's just
It
how
is.
the game would work.
No, it is a balancing problem because it would only.
Wait, so
be-
you're not allowed
because
to let people pick RTS anymore. So you
No.
basically say
They
we
have
only
to
have
go-
10 slots for RTS guys.
No, they have to go to another server, which all of their current content in that server would transfer over, so they're not losing anything.
But
So
what
they would
there
just
if
go
there's
to
another,
another
so you're
server.
making over 3 million servers.
No, I would make as much servers as needed as possible, or as needed.
So 3 million.
No, I don't think 3 million.
It's not
would be that
feasible,
much.
Mikey.
I don't think 3
Mike, it's
million
not
would be
feasible.
that
The
much.
reason
Like,
Yeah, but it's
for
not feasible.
100,000 players, if I needed 100,000 players to get a server to get 3 million servers is not that bad. It's only literally like maybe 4 server boxes, and that's not that bad. Especially if I'm making that
3
much
million
money.
servers is not bad?
No, it's not that bad because I used to
Are you
install
okay,
those.
bro?
No, it's not. I used to install those. I'm telling you exactly how much they cost. They cost about anywhere from 25 to 50,000. So if I'm making $15 a month times 100,000, I'm making more than enough to buy 3 or 4 server boxes that can host up to 3 million players or 3 million different servers. It is very possible.
And what it means to manage 3 million servers.
I mean, it's just somebody that really is like it's just a team of engineers really there's to manage the hardware.
No. You need 3 million people. You need a single person on every server to just GM.
No.
Just keep their eye on the server.
No, you wouldn't need 3 million people for that. You would just group.
Yes, you do. You need a person on every server.
Yeah, you would just group
It's
'em.
it's not feasible, Mikey. I don't know why you're trying to do
Why would
things
I
that are
have
not
3
feasible.
million?
It's impossible.
Why would I have 3 million?
Are
Nobody
you gonna
ever
leave
has.
servers by themselves with cheaters, hackers, no issues,
No, with the
N
cheaters
words
and
coming in and out, all the fucking issues
I
that
mean,
you're gonna have to manage the people.
what do you mean? That's stuff that AI can
But what do you
do.
mean? What do you mean? What AI can do? AI cannot take over human intelligence. There's no way.
Ricochet, and all of that stuff. The anti-bullying is all AI. You can't say the N-word in Call of Duty because AI will noob you out from saying it. The same technology that YouTube uses. If I was to play any song on my YouTube right now, they would shut my stream down in a heartbeat, and that's not because a human did that. It's because AI did it. AI can sort through that stuff,
AI, the AI is gonna sort through that thing, but at the end of the day, there's going to be people managing every server.
no,
Do you know the
they
sheer
would
amount?
manage
Let's
the
say 3
AI.
million people, 3 million. Okay, so one person on every server, 3 million players,
No, it
right?
wouldn't be
3
one
million
person on every
players.
server because that's not how it works no more. They would have a team of people to manage that AI, and the AI would manage itself.
No, listen to what I'm saying. 3 million people, okay? All at once say the N word on 3 million different servers, 3 million different people say all at once the N word.
Yeah, but that number's infeasible.
You have to go.
Nobody has
It's
3
how is that
million
unfeasible?
because nobody has 3 million servers, and nobody has 3
That's what
million
I'm trying
people
to tell
playing
you.
the game at one time. Like, it's literally
It just
impossible numbers. Like, those numbers are just
might,
way
yeah.
out there. Most people that are playing a MMO, like the most of the numbers sitting at is maybe 250,000 at a current time. Like, that's more doable, and it's actually more feasible for AI to do. I would only need one server junction box, and that's it. And then it would have
Okay.
multiple servers in it. That's pretty much
So
all
let's
it
get back.
is.
Let's get back to reality for a second. I'm telling you again, right? The RTS concept that you're talking about is impossible. Okay. Once you level, so let's say character creation, right? And your character creation, you put, I want to be the commanding officer, so RTS. Okay, great. If it's not going to be one person, there's going to be a lot of people. But again, let's say you have 100,000 players concurrent on your game. Why?
Yes.
Because the game is great. Out of those 100,000, 20,000 of them pick RTS. Okay?
Then I would have
Those
to look at those
20,000.
numbers. I would look at the numbers, and I would have the server designated space already in mind for people that would do that, because I would think of probably 300,000, maybe 400,000 servers, and then I would have maybe 4 or 5 AIs to control all of those servers. And then I would make sure that
400,000. You know, there's not a single game in the world that has 400,000,
yeah, but
100,000 servers. Never mind. 1,000 servers. Sorry.
Okay, 1,000
Not a single
servers.
game in the world. Not a single game in the world has 1,000 servers.
How many servers do they usually have? Like 20?
Look it up, my guy.
I don't know. I'm on YouTube on my phone. I can't really do much.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. This is not feasible, and it's not even because of the servers. You're forgetting the human aspect of it. You're thinking Arma 3. I am telling you, this is not how it works.
I'm not thinking
If
Arma
you
3,
have,
I'm just thinking Arma 3
forget
and
it
the
for a
size of the
second.
map.
Forget it for a
The
second.
size of the map would be huge.
If you're thinking, forget it. If you're thinking 100,000 concurrent players because your game is going great, 20,000 of them decide to play RTS characters, right?
Yeah.
Even more probably, because if every person can make multiple different characters, everybody might have an RTS character. So 20,000 though, to be on the low side, 20,000 players decide to make an RTS character. 20,000 players are going to level to 100, and all of them are going to be the max level, which means all of them are effectively competent enough to lead the war, which means they will have a consistent struggle as to find who is going to lead. Nothing will happen. That's just not how it works. It is impossible to put it in the hands of the players to tell them, here, you decide what to do with this. It doesn't work. It's impossible. That is why we have a hierarchy in the army.
Well, then the RTS players.
And the
can cut
hierarchy,
out
where does the
completely.
hierarchy end in the army? What's the summa maxima? What's
I
the
don't know,
top of the
Tony.
hierarchy in the army?
I don't know, Tony.
The president.
Listen,
The president of the United States.
Then
Under
guess
him,
what?
the what's it called? Military of Defense.
listen. Then we'll cut the RTS completely out of it then, and just make
And
it
now
a
it's
too
gone.
faceted game. You have
I'm trying to tell you, you need to listen to me, bro, because I love talking about video games,
no.
and I'm
listen,
happy to listen
'cause
to you
the
talk about video games.
The RTS version of it, okay, it has flaws on the major scale MMO, so we can't put it in. That means that if we want to make an RTS game, I can make it in the same universe, and it's just an RTS game. You can play the game. But if I want to fucking
No,
just
the
do
only
the
way
game, if I want to do
the only
game,
way to make the RTS game is what we already have nowadays. Games like Hell Let Loose, where people jump in and it's a 64 versus 64,
but
and
that's not
there
a
are 5
RTS.
commanders, team leaders, etc., etc.
That's not an RTS though.
Yeah, but that's the version of RTS that we're talking about right now.
No,
That's the
because
thing.
they wouldn't
You-
be on the field. It would be a traditional RTS type of situation.
No,
Like,
they're
you would
not.
have-
They're not on the field at all. Those
would
in
have-
Hell Let Loose, there's people that are sitting all the way in headquarters, commanding through a map what's happening, and the players
Yeah,
are
pretty
on the
much.
map.
But that would be
5 per
That
squad.
would be the lowest. Like that would be the lowest general. That would be the lowest
No,
general.
there
Like,
is
if you were
no.
to
There is one person.
If you were to
There
do-
is one
if you
person.
were
They
to
call
do
him
that-
HQ. They call him headquarters.
Yeah,
He has the information,
I know.
and
I
he
played
gives
Hell Let
the
Loose.
commanders what to do,
the
and then
same-
the commanders give the team leaders what to do, and so on and so forth.
It's same thing as squad. I'm telling you, it's like
Yeah.
it's just like that, but it's just for people that want to play that type of game. I mean, I'm the firm believer. If I'm making a type of game like that, I'm gonna try to attract the audience that I want to attract for that game. I'm not gonna try.
So now you're
to,
going back to a niche market.
like, yeah, because niche markets just pay. Like, I don't need to make $1 billion off of this game. I just need to make enough to make a new game. Like, that's just pretty much how I see it. Like, I want to make, like, if I was to make games, I would want to make games in a certain franchise. I would want to make a franchise of some sort of games, and then eventually make it into an MMO after the franchise flushed itself out through other games. That's how I believe that some things can grow, and I believe that that's the best way to grow, because you get a cult-like following, and then people will buy your shit no matter the fuck what. And that's just what it is.
That's fantastic, but obviously you have to think from the get. See, the trick to making an MMO is what you described, but it starts with the MMO.
Nah, it's
That's
a
how
lot
it
of games.
works.
A lot of games just they took a lot of time, resources, elements from other games that they made, and experience from doing other
No,
games, and then
no.
they made
Listen
an
to what I'm
RPG.
saying. Listen to what I'm saying. It's the way you started it is fine. As in, realistically speaking, you don't create the MMO first. But the way you create an MMO is you start with the MMO. You need a story. That's what makes an MMO great. The
You
the
have to have something that
captivation
goes
of
into
people
something else.
is
Like,
what makes an MMO great.
Like, if anything needs to be an MMO, like I keep saying it, is Warhammer needs to be an MMO. That's something that would probably work with that type of game, because it would be a Star Citizen type
course.
of game. It would be something on a galactic scale. So if it was multiple commanders that had multiple ships, it wouldn't fucking matter as long as you're in another server. And another server would be considered different realms. So that it just would all be suited into lore. And I think that
See,
would be
now
pretty
you're
cool.
talking a bit more towards how to actually equip an MMORPG, but you need to understand this. The MMORPG starts with the story, and you're a cog.
Yeah, you would be
in
like
the story.
everything, but the reason why Space Marines, or not Space Marine, but Warhammer 40k in general work is just because everybody's a cog. Everything is a cog.
But you could not be a commander in it. Like in an MMORPG, you would be a Space Marine. You would be one.
It's higher things that you can become other than but it's and if
That's-
you're a female character, you cannot become a Space Marine.
Okay.
You have to become
One sec.
sister.
One sec.
surprised this shit is working so well on this.
Mikey, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, sorry, I need to go
We
upstairs to my
located
mom
the
for a second.
ancient
Okay, I'll be
Dark
back in a
Angel's ship in the
Huh?
heart of the Space Hulk. After
Huh?
finding
You have
out
to go.
that Squad Gideon had been slain,
No,
We
I will
fought a
be back
horde
in
of
not too long, like 10, 15 minutes or something. Are you on for a while, or are you gonna have to go soon?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go to bed soon. I have to go hit the road in the morning, go back to Florida.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in
Oh,
South
all right, man.
Carolina.
I'll catch you then tomorrow, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do yourself something nice though. Write a bit of the story if you're thinking about a story for a game. It would be nice.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I'm pretty good
Alright.
writer, actually. I'm a lot better writer than I am a talker sometimes. I actually have a really good talent for it. I used to write stories in school all the time.
All right, go for it.
Alright, I'll talk
All
to
right,
you
I'll see you
later.
tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Night, brother. Rest well.
Yes, you too.
Bye bye.
Bye. Boom.
Mission status accepted, brothers. Destroy the nest of Xenos in the adjacent battlefield. The lion guides our fury.
We have to prevent the enemy being reinforced from the nest we've just discovered.
Time to destroy these enemies.
for the Emperor. For the